Welcome everyone to this comic relief Pilates class. You probably can't understand a word I'm saying with this nose on, but I thought I would sort of start as I need to go on. So if you're ready, you're going to need your red nose, a mat and some cushions, and we'll get started. Okay, so let's start. I've taken my nose off because it's not going to work. So we're going to start with our feet about hip distance apart. Have your nose in one hand, which is a phrase you don't say very often. And then just think about equal weight through the feet. Let's think about tall through the legs, little rock of the pelvis backwards and forwards, find that neutral position. We're going to tuck the tailbone under so we've got that length through the spine, ribs over pelvis, collarbones wide, and then we're going to take the nose and we're going to pop it on our head. Now from experience it's easy to pop it on with the bit where the nose goes face down, just about, and then we're going to just come back down. Lovely. So the idea now is to keep up nice and tall and not to let your nose fall off your head. Ooh, like I just did. Okay, let's start again. So we're going to just pop that on there, and then from here we're going to just take a breath in, let the shoulders come up, and a breath out and come down. And again, breath in, shoulders up, breath out, come down. One more. And relax, keeping up nice and tall. We're going to take the arms up over the head, keeping that nose still, and then bring them back down. And again, breath in, arms up, breath out and down. Two more, breath in, and out. Has everyone got their nose still on their head? Mine feels decidedly unbalanced. Okay, from here we're going to have a go a little bit trickier. So we're going to bring the hands to the pelvis, again keeping collarbones nice and wide. We're going to lift one heel. As that heel comes down, we're going to change. What could go wrong? Breath in, breath out, breath in. I think as long as you're breathing, I think you've got enough to think about. So just breathe nice and gently and try and keep that control. If you want to, you could add in the arms. So arms go forward as we change. Well done everyone, I'm sure you're doing a really good job keeping that nose nice and still. We're going to do one more and then float down. Okay, hands to the pelvis, just checking that neutral position. This time we're going to float up onto the toes. So let's take a breath in, I'm going to come up onto both toes, breathe out and come back down. Now I'm going to have an attempt to go side on. This may or may not work. So what we're looking for is the length through the spine. So as we come up, we're not leaning forward, and that will, whoops, keep your nose on your head. So we're going to come up and down. Lovely. Keep that control. And let's do two more. Just lightly drawing into the tummy, lightly squeezing the bottom. Fantastic, well done. Okay, take the nose off your head, which again is a really bizarre thing to say. And what we're going to do now is take the feet a little bit wider apart. So from here, I'm going to get you to place your nose into your left hand. Widen the collarbones and have the elbows tucked into the side. And we're just going to take the arms out to the side and then come back in. Breath out. Breath in, lovely. Adding in a knee bend if you want to. So as we go out, knees are going to bend. We're keeping up tall, we're coming back in. Knees stay over the feet so they're not drifting in. And we're keeping that control. Breath out, breath in. One more, we're going to swap our nose to the other hand. So bring it across, same on the other side. We come down and back. This time, if you want to work a little bit harder, we come down, stretch, and then back in. Down and stretch, and back in. Last one, down and stretch, and back in. Fantastic. Keeping the feet wide apart. We're going to swap the hands again that the nose is in. Other hand's going to go on the pelvis, and we're just unlocking the knees, so we haven't got the knees completely straight. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take the nose, and we're going to bring it across, rotate the body, so we're pointing the other way. Then we're going to bring it across in front of us and up to the ceiling. And as we do, we're lifting through the breastbones. If you're going to try and offer it to the ceiling, then we come down, rotate the body, across and up. So we breathe out, breath in, and stretch, lifting through the chest. And again, down, reach, and stretch. We're going to do one more to this side. Down, rotating the body, reach and stretch. I bet this is the strangest Pilates class you've ever done. Okay, same to the other side. So go hand on the hip. We're going to start by twisting the body. We're going to go around, reach, and then we're going to circle, twisting the body again. We bring the arm across and reach. So we're breathing out as we come down. Whoops, breathing in, nearly went then, and up. Come around and stretch. Let's do one more to this side. So we're going to come down, across, and stretch, and then bring the arms down, walk the feet in, 2 little shoulder rolls, and then relax. Fantastic. So you've survived the standing bit. What we're going to do now is come down onto the mat. So I've come down onto the mat and we're going to do a little bit of arm work. Now when you're sitting down, this feels uncomfortable, you could sit on a chair or you could use a cushion, pop it under your bottom just to bring you up a little bit taller, and that'll take any pressure off your lower back. So in this position, have a little wiggle, get yourself nice and comfortable, and then we're going to start off by bringing our red nose into our right hand again, sorry, in our left hand. And then from here, we're going to bend the elbow and we're just going to reach the nose to the ceiling, and then we're going to bend the elbow as if you're trying to bring the nose to touch your shoulder. Very strange. We're going to come up and down. Breath out, breath in. So this is working the back of the arm, working our triceps, and we're trying to keep nice and tall through the middle. Fantastic. Breath out, breath in. Now the nose isn't very heavy, but after doing a few, you still should start to feel that working through your arm. Breath out and in. Last one. We're going to come down. Same to the other side. So just relaxing the other arm, elbow bent, we stretch it up, and it's as if you're trying to bring it to touch your shoulder. So we reach to the ceiling and shoulder. And down. Fantastic. And again, working on the back of the arm, keeping up nice and tall through the spine. You shouldn't feel any discomfort on the lower back, and the head stays in midline. Fantastic. Last one. We're going to stretch and we're going to come down. Swap over into the other hand, just drop the shoulders. We're going to go for our mermaid stretch. So holding onto the nose, we're going to let that elbow bend. We're going to reach up and over into a little bend. And then we're going to come back. And again, breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Let's swap over to the other side. Same to the other side. We're going to come over and back. Breath out. Breath in. So you should feel this stretching through the waist. And then we're going to come back to centre. Fantastic. So from here, we're going to come and have a lie down on our mat, and you're going to need your red nose because we're going to pop it on our tummy. So come and have a lie down and get yourself nice and comfortable. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to get you to bring your red nose and just place it gently on your tummy. And then we're just going to find neutral. So imagine that you're rocking that red nose backwards and forwards to find your neutral spine. And what you want to make sure is that your tummy's not sinking in and the red nose is dropping, or similarly you're not pushing your tummy up and pushing the red nose towards the ceiling. You want to find that level position and then come to rest. Okay, so it's balancing on the tummy. We're just going to do some breathing exercises. So let the arms relax. Think of the length through the spine, knees lined up with your hip joints, feet hip distance apart. And I want you to start to take your focus to your breathing. So we're breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And I want you to imagine that as you're breathing in, you're trying to raise your tummy so your red nose lifts a little bit towards the ceiling. And as you're breathing out, it sinks back down. So you're trying to get the air to the base of the lungs. Breathing in. And out. letting the body just gently relax into the mat. We're going to do one more. And down. Fantastic. So this is a really nice way to get the air down into the base of the lungs. And we're working on keeping that gentle breathing going as we do the rest of our exercise. You don't have to breathe deeply, but you're just gently letting the ribs expand. Okay, from here, this is where it gets a little bit more complicated. We're going to take the red nose and we're going to place it on the top of the knee. Okay, I think I've gone too far with mine. Okay, so place it on the knee and then we're going to come back down. Okay, so make sure you're in that neutral spine position. And then the leg that's got the nose on is going to stay still. The other leg, we're going to roll out to the side, keeping that red nose still. And then we're going to roll that knee back in. Breathing out, we're going to take the leg out. So you want to keep the pelvis level, the length through the spine, and this leg nice and still. Now, it doesn't matter how far you go, it's all about the control. So we're breathing out. Breathing in. Now with any of these exercises, obviously the red nose is just a little bit of fun. So if you find it too difficult or you find you're tensing anywhere, then just do the exercises without the nose. Or you could balance him again on your tummy. Fantastic. Let's do one more. And back. I'm just going to bend my knee a little bit more and just find that neutral position. And then I want you to again keep that leg nice and still. The leg that hasn't got the nose on, we're going to see if we can slide along the mat, keeping that neutral spine position, and slide back up. Breathing out. Breathing in. Now this leg, the leg that's got the nose on, tends to want to move. This is why it's quite tricky when you've got the nose balancing on there. And has anybody dropped their nose yet? Don't worry if you have. It's taken me a lot of practice to do this. So we're going to do one more on this side. Well done, everyone. And then come back down. Okay, bringing that leg up, we're going to come up and see if we can do the other side. So same on the other leg, get your nose in position. Get your nose in position, very strange things to be saying. Okay, but find that neutral spine position again. Nice level pelvis, arms relaxed. We're going to keep that control as we breathe out and just let the other leg roll out to the side this time. And then come back in. Now you might find one side a little bit easier than the other. So again, don't worry. And if you don't want to use the nose, you don't have to. Tell you what, if anyone's listening to this and can't see what we're doing, they're going to wonder what's going on, all this nose, balance your nose on your knee. And back. Breathing out as we come out. Breathing in as we come back. Keeping that control. We're going to do one more of these hip twists. Then we're going to go for our one leg stretch. So we bring the leg back into parallel, pelvis stays level, we slide the leg down the mat. And then we come back up. Breathing out to lengthen. Breathing in to return. It's important we try and keep this leg nice and still and the pelvis level so that we're not letting that nose drop on the floor. Fantastic. Let's just do one more. And then come back up. From here, I'm going to get you to grab hold of the nose, draw one leg into the chest, draw the other leg into the chest, and just give yourself a little hug. Fantastic. And then we're going to lower and lower. Okay, from here, little rock of the pelvis. So we're just going to rock the pelvis backwards and forwards because we've been quite static with those first few exercises. Let's check I've got enough room behind me. I'm going to shuffle down my mat a little bit, I think, because the next one we're going to do is going to involve our arms. Okay, so from here, we're going to find neutral again. We're going to lift the one leg into tabletop. And then I want you to balance the nose on your shin. Okay, so then we're going to keep that tabletop position and bring the arms down by the side. So we've got knee over the pelvis or over the hip and that leg parallel to the floor. We're just going to keep that position as we take the arms back over the head and then just bring them to hover. So this time it's a breath in as we come back and a breath out as we come down. Breath in Lovely. We're going to do one more on this side. As we come down, we're just going to hover the arms, collarbones nice and wide, and we're just going to gently pulse. Breathing in as we pulse for 5, and breathing out as we pulse for 5. Well done, everyone. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to lower the arms, draw the leg in, and just bring your nose into the hand. Float that leg down. Little rock of the pelvis again, find our neutral position. Okay, from there we're going to lift the other leg, bring the nose onto the shin, and again I've got the nose cut out bit on my shin. It makes it a little bit easier. Now I don't know if you've got different noses, whether it makes it any harder or easier, so you'll have to let me know which one you've got if you're struggling. And then from there, we're going to go back into those arm floats. So we're going to take the arms up over the head, and then the arms down to hover. Breath in as we come up, keeping that leg nice and still. And down. Breath in, breath out. Well done. Let's do one last one. And then again, we're going to come down, collarbones wide. We're going to hover the arms, and we're just going to pulse, trying to keep that leg nice and still, trying to keep that neutral spine position. And we're breathing in as we pulse for 5, breathing out as we pulse for 5. And then we'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, arms are going to float down. We can bring the leg in, and again, we'll draw both legs into the chest. Have a little stretch, and then come back down. Fantastic. Okay, we've been quite static so far, so we're going to do a little exercise to loosen off the lower back. So we're going to get the nose, and we're going to place it between the knees, but a little bit lower down than the knees. So it's not right at the top, it's sort of a little bit lower down. And then we're going to bring our knees and feet together. Then I want you to just again find that neutral spine position, allow the rib cage to soften, and then keeping the nose in place, we're going to roll the knees over to one side, keeping the shoulder blades on the mat. And then we're going to peel back to centre. Same to the other side. We're going to breathe out to come across. And we're going to breathe in to come back. So think of the spine a bit like a corkscrew. You're getting that rotation through the spine. Knees and feet are staying stacked. And our shoulder blades are our anchor points to the mat, so we don't want to let them lift off. And then come back. I think that noise is the mat stretching as I'm going across. It's not my hips. Now you can, if you want to, rotate the head the other way, but make sure you don't lift it off the mat, so you're supporting the head the whole time. And come through, and to the other side. And then come to centre. Fantastic. Taking the nose out, let's lengthen the legs along the mat, and just take the arms just over the head. Fantastic. Okay, how's everybody doing? Okay, let's come on to our side, and let's just do one to work on our hip. So if you get yourself onto your side, and then I want you to bend the knees. So the heels are lined up with your sitting bones, and your hips are stacked one on top of the other. And then you can either get another cushion to support the head, or you can place your arm underneath your blocks. I'm just bringing my nose around this way, so that you can support the head. But you want everything in a nice line. Now this exercise works on the hip joint, and the idea, sorry, not the hip joint, the hip muscles. And what we're trying to do is keep the knee nice and level with the hip. So from this position, we've got the length through the spine, length through the tummy. We're going to lift the leg, and we're going to place the nose just on the knee, okay, side of the knee. Now you can have your hand just in front of you or on your hip, and we're going to keep the leg at the same height as we bring the leg forward. So we're hinging at the hips, and then we bring the leg back. Our tummy and our spine are going to stay nice and still. And we should feel that working a little bit around the hip. You might feel it on the underneath hip a little bit as well. The idea is to keep the leg at the same height, and it's at the height of the hip. I bet you didn't think you'd be doing this today. So we're, it's gone. Don't do that. We're breathing out to come forward, and we're breathing in to come back. It was going so well. forward and back. Lovely, well done. I bet you didn't drop your noses, did you? Fantastic. Let's do one more. Oh, say, imagine the nose is still there, it's fine. Nothing's happened. And then come back down. Well done, everyone. Let's do the same on the other side. So I'm going to swap ends of the mat. It's going to be much more successful on this side. So exactly the same. We want to come onto our side so our hips and our shoulders are stacked. We've got length through the tummy and through the spine, so we're not arching the back. Knees are bent up. Head's nice and supported. We're going to lift the leg and we're going to bring the nose and place it on the side of the knee. And then the hinge comes from the hip as we gently go back and gently go forward. Now, it doesn't matter how far you move. It's all about keeping this length here so that I'm going to move my nose. So you don't curl in and you don't arch back. You're keeping that control. Coming forward and back. This one is quite a good one to work on those hip muscles. Shouldn't be uncomfortable though. Fantastic. Oh, I was doing so well. Well done. Imagine my nose is still there. And then from there, we're going to come down. Fantastic. Give the leg a little rub. Let's stretch out those muscles. So come over onto your back. You can hold onto your nose. I don't even know where mine's gone. It's disappeared. There it is. Okay, you can hold onto your nose. And then we're going to bring one leg across. Now, if you have any hip problems, just be careful with this stretch, but we're going to bring the leg back towards the heel, or we're going to lift up. So you only go to a point where you feel a comfortable stretch. So if that's there, that's where you need to stay. And you should feel it in the outside of the hip. And same on the other side. So we're going to cross the leg over, come to where you feel a stretch and hold it. If you are holding and lifting the arms, make sure that your back is nice and relaxed and you're supporting the legs. And then come back down. Well done, everyone. We've got one last exercise and it's on our hands and knees. Okay, so we're going to roll onto our side and then we're going to come up over onto the hands and knees. So I'm going to come up this way. I'm just going to move those to one side. So first thing we need to do is come with our knees about hip distance apart and our hands about shoulder width apart. You don't want them too spread out or too close together because it makes the exercise much harder. And you want to make sure your back is neutral. So it's not dipping like this. It's not rounding, it's level. And just to make sure, we're going to place our red nose on our lower back. And we're going to want to keep our red nose in place. So who knows what will happen with this one, but that's the idea. So from here, we're going to gently draw into the tummy. So we're getting those tummy muscles working. And we're going to breathe out as we take one leg and stretch it back behind. Then we're going to breathe in and come back. And we're going to do the same leg again. So we're breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. Lovely. Let's do one more on this leg. Think about shoulders away from the ears, chin tucked under, looking down to the hands. Let's swap sides. So readjust if you need to. And then we'll do the same on the other side. Shoulders nice and relaxed, upper back nice and level, so we're not rounding. Breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Well done. Last one on this side, and then we're going to come back. Take the red nose off your back, sit back onto your heels. Breastbone just sinks into the thighs and have a nice stretch out. A few breaths in and out. And then slowly come up into sitting. Fantastic. So again, you can sit on some blocks or a cushion if you need to, or you could come into standing. We're just going to stretch out the arms. So just coming nice and comfortable. You don't need your nose now, you'll be pleased to know, so I'm just going to pop him down there. And then from here, we're just going to have a little stretch. So we're going to come up nice and tall, nice and wide through the collarbones. Let's just take the shoulders up and down. And again, breath in. And take the arm across. We're going to have the other arm just hook underneath. Drop this shoulder, little stretch. And same to the other side. little stretch. And back. We're going to link the hands together, drop the shoulders, just do a little stretch, making that little sort of circle shape, and just look down towards your red nose if he's on the floor in front of you to get a little stretch through the back of the neck. And then bring the arms down by the side. And then everyone, I want you to all finish with a nice deep breath in. And out. And well done, you have just taken part in the craziest Red Nose Day Pilates class. Thank you ever so much for joining in and for watching. I really appreciate your support. We have got a Just Giving page, so if you have enjoyed the class and you would like to make a donation, then obviously you can follow the link. But I'm just happy that you've enjoyed the class and that you've taken part. So I look forward to seeing you all again soon. How red is my nose?
It's fine.
No pun intended.